right along the shore into the sunset. Our view fades to white and stone letters crash down. The end. Belt pops up with his arms out and Sandy joins in. She picks him up and gives him a hug. Now titles appear over hand-drawn images of the Croods. Directed by Chris Sanders and Kirk D'Amico. Produced by Christine Belson, PGA. Jane Hartwell, PGA. Screenplay by Kirk D'Amico and Chris Sanders. Story by John Cleese, Kirk D'Amico, Chris Sanders. Music composed and conducted by Alan Silvestri. Nicolas Cage, Emma Stone, Ryan Reynolds, Catherine Keener, Cloris Leachman, Clark Duke. Editor Darren Holmes, ACE. Production designer Christophe Lautrent. Visual effects supervisor Marcus Mannanen. Head of character animation James Baxter. Head of story Ed Gombert. Head of layout Yang Duck-Yoon. Art directors Paul Duncan, Dominique R. Lewis. Visual consultant Roger Deakins, ASC, BSc. Production managers Daniela Mazzucato, Jed Schlanger. Animation supervisors Lime K. Anderson, Hans Dastrup, Jacob Hjort Jensen, Frederick Nilsson, Christophe Saran, Sean Sexton. Head of lighting Mark Edwards. Lighting supervisors Shadi Almasazada, Jonathan Harmon, Bert S.L. Poole. Modeling supervisor Jeff Hayes. Surfacing supervisor Sabrina M. Regal. Character technical direction supervisor Kevin Rogers. Head of effects Matt Baer. Additional editor Eric Dobkowitz. Character effects supervisor Damon Crow. Crowd supervisor Spencer Knapp. Technical direction supervisor Robert Armstrong. Matte painting supervisor Scott Brisbane. Final layout supervisor Valerie Latira Splitzer. Stereography Philip Captain 3D McNally. Sound designer Randy Tom. Supervising sound editor Jonathan Null. Re-recording mixers Randy Tom, Gary A. Rizzo. Shine Your Way, written by Alan Silvestri, Glenn Ballard, Kirk D'Amico, Chris Sanders. Performed by Al City and Una. Casting by Leslie Feldman, Christy Soper-Hilt. Now credits roll. Cast: Nicolas Cage as Grug, Emma Stone as Eve, Ryan Reynolds as Guy, Catherine Keener as Aga, Cloris Leachman as Gran, Clark Duke as Thunk, Chris Sanders as Belt. Sandy, voice designed by Randy Tom. Story: production supervisors Helen Marie Sarek, Robert C. Briggs. Story artists Robert C. Briggs, Alessandro Carloni, Chen Yi Chang, Sharon Coleman, Stephen McLeod, Tuong Son Mai Tron, Paul McAvoy, Ryan O'Loughlin, Orion Redson, Ryan Savas, Simon Wells, Todd Wilderman. Additional story artists Keith Baxter, Mike Bell, Louis Del Carmen, Kirk Hansen, Claire Morrissey, Gabrielle Peniccioli, Joshua Pruitt, David Smith. Production coordinator Jabari Phillips. Editorial. Production supervisor Joseph Izzo. Associate editors Mary Margaret Blee, Ellen Kanisha, C.K. Hornis. First assistant editor Sherry Galloway. Assistant editors Adam Dacombe, Joe Thigeson, David M. Poole, Michelle Kabalu-Zaslov. Production coordinator Danielle Duran. Art department. Production supervisors Michelle Gerardo-Stapoulos, Helen Marie Sarek. Visual development Arthur Fong, Tianyi Han, Leighton Hickman, Emil Mitev, Hui K. Nguyen, Brett Michael Neistall, Simon Rogers, Nicholas Weiss, Margaret Wooler. Additional visual development Bill Kaufman, Ronald Kernayawan, Paul Lassane, Facundo Rabaudi, Griselda Sestrawanata Lemay, Jason Shire, Simon Varela, Pierre Oliver Vincent, Nate Ragg, Michael Yamada, Felix Yoon. Character design, Carter Goodrich, Shane Pridmore, Takao Noguchi, Shannon Tyndall. Production coordinators, Lauren Melizia, Christopher Figgle. Character technical direction, production supervisors Karen Barnash, Art Bidwell. Lead character technical directors, Taryn Boylan, Mariette Marinus, Sven Pohl. Character technical directors, Zoska Baraks, Wan Young Byun, Valentina Ercolani, Yukinori Inagari, Hyun Sung Kim, Shanhwa Kim, David Lasala, Cliff B. Mitchell, Koji Morihira, Kendall Sager, Jeff Smith, Christopher S. Vale. Additional character technical directors, Bart Coughlin, Ted Fargrave, Lucia Modesto, Nathan Loofborough. Modeling, production supervisor Jeff Chasen. Modelers, Jason Baldwin, Philippe Brochu, Joaquin Desbrunier, Craig Dowsett, Manny Fragelis, Yewan Lee, Abraham Menu Oset, Jeff Wagner, Phil Zuko, Additional modeling, Hyun Hu, Paul Schroning. Production coordinators, Christopher Vigil, Isabel Fientreni. Surfacing, production supervisor, Jeff Chasen. Surfacers, Fernanda S. Ebarca, Jessica Cantor, Ronnie Cleveland, Sandy Tai Dong, Edwin Fong, Sean Kenny, Sully Jacob Wilkes, Ben Lippert, Andrea Losh, Eric S. McLean, Tomajan Neighbors, Violet Sakra Sheikh. Additional surfacers, Robin Huntingdale, Edward Quintero. Production coordinators, Christopher Vigil, Isabel Fientreni. Layout, production supervisor, G. Mark Fitzgerald. Rough layout artists, Michael Comfort, Jotham Herzon, Kyle Jefferson, Connor W. Kavanaugh, James Kiefer, Lorenzo F. Martinez, John W. McInnes, Dan Pilgrim, Victor Robert, Matthew D. Schmidt, Shane I. Wapskinen, Hawk Hyan Wong. Final layout supervisor, Valerie Lateras Splitzer. Final layout artists, Lorenzo Russell Bambino, Amy H. Chin, Christopher L., Michael Gutman, Stan R. Haptis, Marcy Mora, Stephen Sorensen, Joseph Thomas. Additional stereography, William Dries. Music. Music executive, Sonny Park. Music editor, Joey Rand. Additional music editor, Barbara McDermott. Score recorded and mixed by Dennis Sands. Additional recording by Pete Cobbin. Orchestrations by Alan Silvestri, William Ross, John Ashton Thomas, Mark Graham, Victor Pesavento. Orchestra contractor, Isabel Griffiths. Assistant orchestra contractor, Joe Changer. Orchestra leader, Thomas Bowes. Choir, London Voices. Choir masters, Terry Edwards and Ben Perry. Music preparation and librarian, Mark Graham. Additional synth programming, Douglas Romaine. Score recorded at Abbey Road Studios, London. Studio manager, Colette Barber. Digital recordist, Lewis Jones. Stage assistant, Matt Jones. Score mixed at Studio Santa Barbara. Pro Tools mix engineer, Adam Olmsted. Score supervisor, David Bufano. Score production assistant, James Findley. Music consultant, Charlene Ann Huang. Music coordinator, Roger Tang. Music clearances, Julie Butchko. Shine Your Way recorded at Augury. Recorded by Adam Young, Scott Campbell, and Bill Molina. Mixed by Robert Orton at Hot Rock Studios. Additional keyboards and programming by Glenn Ballard and Randy Kerber. Production coordinator, Angela Vicari. Songs, Tusk, written by Lindsey Buckingham. Performed by Alan Silvestri and the USC Trojan Marching Band. Dr. Arthur C. Bartner, music director. Shine Your Way, written by Alan Silvestri, Glenn Ballard, Kirk D'Amico, and Chris Sanders. Performed by Al City and Una. Copyright 2013 DreamWorks Animation LLC, all rights reserved. DreamWorks Animation LLC is the author and creator of this motion picture for purposes of the Berne Convention and all national laws giving effect thereto, and for the purposes of copyright law in the United Kingdom. This motion picture is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability and criminal prosecution. This film has been described by the Media Access Group at WGBH with funding from 20th Century Fox. Read by Gailey Heidemann. For more information about motion picture access, visit our website at access.wgbh.org. Now over a white backdrop, a trio of elephant mice play music through their trunks and sway. A logo, DreamWorks Animation SKG.
DreamWorks Animation SKG.